Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, and I'm gonna do a little 2-for-1 in this video. I got a Bergara M40-ish rifle, and I've actually had it in the back of the safe for a few months now, and finally gonna make a video on it. But also the main subject matter is probably gonna be more so on the optic. No, this isn't so much a cohesive package if we're talking about money, but it's mostly to prove a point. When I first got into shooting, I got into long range, and that was about 6 years ago. And that world has changed a lot. I remember the first time I ever spent decent money on an optic, it was actually $1,000, and it was a Vortex Viper PST Gen 1. And it was a 6-24, 30mm tube, and the fact that it was the first focal plane was like insane. And we'll explain on what all of that is. But what I'm getting at is nowadays you can get scopes for not a lot of money. When heavy hitting optics started going for under $1,000, it was something to pay notice to. Then when they were in the $600 and $700 range, it was really, really attractive as well. But now we're gonna go crazy. This is gonna be subject matter on the best long range optic for under $300. And I kid you not, if it was just a few years ago and I heard someone was using an optic for under $300, I would have thought that is a high-end optic to use on an airsoft gun, no more. Just the feature set couldn't have been there. The reliability, dependability certainly couldn't have been there. And well, now we have this. And actually two things. We'll tease this real quickly. Same, but different. We'll explain this a little bit as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is an Arken optic SH4 Gen 2. The one I just showed as well is a newer one, still a SH4 Gen 2, but J for Japanese glass, brand new. But let's talk about this right here, SH4 Gen 2. I made a main video on this a couple years ago when they first came out, and I think they were priced around $499, so it was the best for under $500 at the time. Today, full MSRP is $299.99, so it just sneaks under that $300 threshold. However, don't know how long this is going to be active for. It's been active for a little bit now. Coupon code Texas Plinking takes 25% off that. So if you're not a mathematologist, that makes it under $230. And that coupon code takes 25% off the other small accessories as well, like the rings or a one-piece 20 MOA mount, all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, that was just a price point I would have thought was just no good for anything. So I thought it would be funny to not put so cohesive of a setup together. This Bergara M40-ish goes for about $3,500. This was a small batch series from Bergara, only the second time they've ever done it. They only made 200 of these rifles, so they go for a pretty penny. So taking a $3,500 sub-MOA guaranteed rifle, precision rifle, and throwing a $225, $230 optic on top, is it going to be the limiting factor? I have a feeling it won't be. So this particular one, the one that goes for $299.99 full retail price, is the 4-16 by 50. 4-16 is the zoom range. 50mm is the objective lens. It's got a 34mm main tube, which is pretty awesome. That's standard through Arken optics, because before 30mm was considered pretty good at the price point, but 34mm was really only found on Night Force ATACers and the Razor series of Vortex and Schmidt and Benders. It's got a really informative VPR reticle. We kind of refer to that as the Christmas tree reticle. Plenty of information, but not too much. And it's on the first focal plane, meaning when you zoom in and out, the relativity stays the same. That combination right there, 34mm main tube and a first focal plane, was just rarity for under $1,500 a couple years ago. So the fact that it's the more norm now we're talking under $300. I've been really impressed by that as well. They're available in mils or MOA. Mils is going to be a 1/10 mil adjustment, and MOA is going to be a 1/4 MOA adjustment. As to be expected, it's got a 0 reset as well as a 0 stop. Very easy to set the 0 stop as well, which I appreciate. It's got illumination. Only the very center of the reticle is illuminated, so it's not too busy in red, which I like. It's got 36 mils of elevation travel, and that's big thanks to the 34mm main tube diameter. That's also 123 MOA for you minute guys out there. Most of this video is going to be around this setup here, the M40-ish with the $225 optic. But just for fun, just because it just came out not long ago, this is the SH4 Gen 2, and the J stands for Japanese. So in the Japanese glass. Now this scope is fantastic for the price, but I will say, I have to say, for the price. Great optic all around. But my only thing I start noticing with it, certain lighting conditions at max magnification, there's a little bit of chromatic aberration. Some of the pink purplish hues on some of the edging on some situations, not always, but that's something I noticed there, but I've never noticed with any of the EP line of the optics from Arken, which is Japanese glass. So here they threw Japanese glass on the SH line. The model I have in front of me here, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, the J is only offered with the 6-24 zoom range, so you get more magnification. This is $399.99, so it breaks the rule for the title, but 25% off with Texas Plinking as a coupon code, knocks it to $299. And it's sweet. With this, I really get zero chromatic aberration, at least from my experience so far, but I just got it. But the Japanese glass does make quite a bit of a difference. That's not to say that this is not usable. It's very usable, as we'll be using it today at some range. In fact, on the last episode of the long range at 1 MOA 1,000 yard challenge, someone was using this exact optic. I think it was a 4-16 SH4 Gen2, so the $225 scope, and they hit the target, spoiler alert, so that's pretty cool. But if your budget is $300 flat, right on the nose, the Japanese glass is well worth it in my opinion. And I know plenty of you guys want to see content on this rifle, and it's coming very soon. This is the Saber 10, kind of M110 clone from Palmetto State Armory. Stay tuned, it will be the subject matter for the next video, this and the 308 version. This one here is 6.5 Creedmoor. Back to the main subject matter of the video. So today's actually my first day out with this Bergara M40-ish. I don't know why it took me a while to come out and shoot it. And so let's talk about the two groupings I did. I only did two 5-round groupings. First one was with Federal Gold Medal Match 168 grain, and looks like that was just under 1 MOA, over 3/4, under 1 inch. I don't know, probably 0.85 MOA if I had to guess, so just sub MOA. And then I did 175 grain Gold Medal Match, and that was a great grouping minus 1 flyer. Of course, counting the flyer, we are a tick over an inch. We're still under 1 1/4, but tick over an inch. If we don't count that flyer, that would have been like 3/4. Too bad, had a flyer in there, but looks like a fairly promising gun. That's the only two groupings I ever did, no cherry picking, and that's what we got. So let's go ahead and shoot at some range. It is hot and windy, so we just got the worst combo. And I'm not gonna really mess around with any of the close stuff. We're gonna start at 770 yards. We're gonna be using Federal 168 grain Gold Medal Match. Starting out at 770 yards, gonna go for the tombstone target. First time I've actually shot this thing while fitting it through the mag. Smooth action. All right. Yeah, shooting right into the sun's a little tough, but hopefully I can see a splash here. That would make sense. I think that was just off to the right. We'll just hold it. $950 calls for 9.4, so that's 7, 8, 9. I was at 1.1 for the wind last time, so it's definitely windier than I thought. Try 2 mils of wind. All right, 950 yards. Let's try to go for that silhouette. I like that. Dead on for wind, so 2 mils was a good guess. Maybe you sank a little low. Let's try again. But I like that, first round. I think that just snuck into the frame there. I think that was bottom left, but I could be wrong. Let's favor a little higher then. I think we're grouping it, still kind of favoring low there. He's on it, man. It's doing real good. All right, so we're having decent luck there. So I said we just aim a little smaller. If you guys know the 1 MOA at 1,000 yards challenge, those plates on the left are 10 inches. So let's go for the one on the right. That's a white circle. It's a 10-inch plate, 950 yards. Let's go ahead and try to get one on there. I was favoring left actually because I thought the wind picked up, but noted. Good elevation though. Beautiful. Nice little center hit there. Saw the miss, corrected by that much, and just repeats. Nice gun, man. Try to be quick with the correction there. Man, not too bad though. The gun's certainly showing potential, and the optics tracking right on, man. I put in the information on the ballistic calculator as accurate as I possibly could have, and to go from 770 to 950 and get a first round on 950 and then just dial it in on the smaller targets, I'm impressed with the gun. So I'm getting impressions two different ways here. I've already known this optic, but the gun itself, really impressed with it. And a $225 scope does not seem like the limiting factor on it. And so that's really, really cool. I'm liking it. In conclusion, guys, this was mostly about the optic, just because I know a lot of people ask me about like what rifle scopes I recommend at certain price points. And if a few years ago someone asked me what I recommend under $300, I would just say hold off on the long range game until you can splurge on some, you know, better optic. Not the case anymore. $225 gets you something that is not the limiting factor on a $3,500 rifle, as I'm trying to showcase in this video. Very impressive. Again, it's $300, $225 with the code Texas Blinking, and that saves you 25% at the moment anyway on all Arken optics. So if you guys want to splurge on the EP5 line, it'll save you a lot of money there as well. So I'll be sure to put a link in the video description down below, pinned comment, all that good stuff as well. But in any case, guys, that is the Bergara M40-ish with the SH4 Gen2 4-16 by 50 from Arken Optics. So yeah, that does it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.